Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me on this morning for Quick Word Tuesday as we begin to prepare for more people to join on. I thank you for joining in with me. If you can share and tag and share, I greatly appreciate you. Okay, good morning. Good morning. We thank you so much. We are going to go ahead and get started. I am so grateful for each and every one of you joining me on this Quick Word Tuesday. It is truly a blessing to be able to come on and feed the people of God that are hungry, that really desires change in their lives. They're really looking for God to do something major within the inside of them, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful to be able to speak a word to you. I wrote in for our title on today, Are You Listening? Are you listening? Um, as I was talking with God, even on this past week, as I shared a word on this past Sunday, and the title of my message was "Here Am I," and then I also told them to look at their neighbors and tell their neighbors, are they listening? Are they listening? Can you hear me now? I talked about how Verizon came out during a time, I think when everybody was starting to get cell phones, and cell phones was really starting to get popular, and everybody was starting to purchase phones. It wasn't so much about getting phones at that time that was easy. It was the connection that wasn't so easy. So people were getting phones. They was having bag phones. They was having flip phones. They was having the I think it's pronounced Neoka or something like that. The name of the phones, they were very popular during that time, and people was getting their phones, and everybody thought that they had it going on. But the problem was that people was able to get the phones, but they lack connection. They confined themselves in certain places, and there was no real towers that they were able to call people, or be able to get a response, or to be able to hear. Thank you. They wasn't able to hear, and but they had the phone, but there was no connection. And so what am I saying now to the body of Christ? That oftentimes that it's not that we can't get a word. We can go to churches all over. There are churches all over, almost on every corner. There are places all over. People are doing lives just like I am. People are doing lives. People are starting podcasts. They're getting on YouTube. They're getting on TikTok. They're getting on Instagram. They're getting on Facebook. They're sending out text messages. They're doing all kind of things because they're trying to get the word out. So it's not the fact that people are not able to get a word. The thing is, people are so desperate for words. They're going to palm readers. They're going to astrologers. They're going to people that work witchcraft. They're going to people that can that they believe they're able to work crystal balls and all type of stuff, because people are hungry for a word. They want to do anything that they can to be able to get a word. They'll do anything because they're looking for a word. And the thing is, they lack connection. But so because they lack connection with God, they'll say that I'll try to connect with people that look like they're connected, because all I want is a word. I want to dance. I want to feel good. I want to shout. I want to lay out. I want to show up when I feel like showing up. I want to do when I feel like doing it. I want to give when I feel like giving. I want to do everything that I want to do, but I don't want no real connection with God. I just want a word. I just want a word. I shared with them on this past week. I said people that will show up to environments or to situations where they feel like somebody can prophesy into them. They can pour into them, but they don't want no real connection. I'm fine. Long as you can tell me what you heard. Long as you can can go in prayer, and you can go in your prayer closet, and you're able to pray to God and be able to come back and tell me what he say. I'm fine with that, but I'm not fine with being able to now have to connect for myself, because it requires something for me. It requires dedication. It requires commitment. It requires something that right now I'm really not ready to give. And long as you're able to do it, and long as I know that you got a connection, I'll tap in with you and be able to, so that you can go back and get what you heard and bring it back to me, because I refuse to be dedicated. I refuse to be committed. And so now God is saying, just like Verizon, they started the slogan telling everybody, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Because while everybody else was going off in droves, they was going off in droves. I was just telling my mom, I said, listen, the Bible talks about the highway going to hell. That way is broad, is wide. You see people all over the place. They don't lack being able to have somebody to talk to. Can I just talk to just a few people when I wasn't saved for real, and I was just out here just winging it. It seemed like my phone was always ringing. People was always calling me. Oh, can you go to the mall? Do you want to go out? Do you want to just hang out? Do you just want to ride around? It seemed like and my phone was never dry. But soon as I got committed for real, it seemed like, my connection, it was like nobody. I couldn't buy a phone call. Right now, I can count to you how many times people actually call me on today. They don't even call to say, are you feeling good? Are you okay? Only time they reach out to me is when they want something. Have you heard from God? What was your connection on today? Did God say something to you concerning me? What way should I go? Whether I should buy the house, whether I shouldn't get the house, whether I marry him or should I marry him? Should I go or should I not go? Should I stay or should I not stay? Should I eat this or should I not eat this? Should I do? They ask me all kind of questions, and every day, because they looking for somebody that got some real connection. I don't want the connection for myself. All I want is to see if you are connected. Yes, Daisy, they just use you. So God is now saying, how many people really got a real connection? Are you like Eli? You're in the temple, but you don't really hear. You can't really see anymore. You're dim. Your eyesight is now getting dim. The things that you used to be able to see in the spirit, you're no longer able to see. Why? Because you're losing connection. You're losing connection. Have you ever been able to get on your phone? I was trying to finish handling something this morning, and it was telling me that my connection was low. So every time I try to type in something, I could never get connected because my connection was low. We are dealing with some people now, their connection is low. They can get almost right there. They can almost be right there, but they just can't all the way connect. Why? Because their connection is low. They can lay home. They can feel good laying in their mess. They can, God, they don't ever be convicted in their spirit about doing what's right. Even when they have done wrong. Why? Because their connection is low. They're so low. Their connection is so low. They can't even be able to hear God when God begins to tell them to get in line, or to be able to draw back, or to be able to draw near, because their connection is low. And they're satisfied with being where they are because they can no longer hear God anymore. So God is saying to me, can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Just like Verizon, can you hear me? Hear me now. People they love quantity. They get excited about how many people showed up. And I can say myself, I've been discouraged when nobody shows up before. I've been that because I was looking for quantity. I was looking for a lot of people to be able to show up. I just thought that by now that the ministry would have been larger than this. I thought by now that I would have found the real people that's really connected. They'll want to show up. They don't feel pressed. They'll show up because they got a connection. That oh God, all the people that I minister to, that I pray for, that I bless, that I sow seeds into, that nobody else knows. I do things privately. I don't have to get on Facebook and broadcast about how I've been a blessing to somebody else. I do it because I do it from the goodness of my heart. I'm not looking for accolades. I'm not looking for you to share and tag and share about what I did for you. If somebody know what I did for you, it's only because you told it. It's not because I'm looking for recognition, because I got real connection with God. And when you got real connection with God, you know that your blessings don't come from them. Your blessings now come from God. So now God is saying, can you hear me? Are you really listening? Because anybody can hear. Anybody can hear. It does not take no special gifting just to be able to hear, but it requires something of you to have to be able to listen. Because listen now, it stirs something up on the inside of you now to make you have to do something off of what you heard. Nobody is able to really hear something if they're properly listening without now going into activation mode, because now I got to do something with what I now receive. And so people are now saying, I'm satisfied with just hearing. Oh, if I just hear just a word, just a word from God, I'm fine with just hearing. I'm just fine. If somebody prophesied to me, if somebody poured into me, if somebody preaching to me, I'm fine with that. But I really don't want to listen so much, because I know that listening now requires something different from me. It now have to activate something on the inside of me. And now the responsibility lies on me off of what I now heard, and really begin to grab in my spirit to now be able to listen, now to be able to push it forward. God is now looking for some people that says that I'm tired of just hearing about what to do. Now I'm ready to listen, because now it requiring something different that rests on my shoulders. And now I know I got to go forth and do what God has now commanded for me to be able to do. So God is saying, now, every hearer, just let them hear. But listeners, isn't that what Samuel did? Samuel went from saying, I heard you. Because he thought he heard Eli calling his name. He got up 3 times. But when Eli realized, it's something different now, son. Because now you're not only just hearing. Because God is now commanding your spirit now to be able to listen. We're going to go deeper tonight on that listening, because I want to stir up the prophetic on the inside of somebody. I want to stir up the prophet that's been lying dormant on the inside of somebody to ignite their fire as we now begin to go into year 2025, that I don't want people to just hear. I want people to be able to listen. I want to stir them up to a place. I want to strike the engine that they now be able to crank up and now run with the word that God has now spoken over them. Isn't it amazing when Eli could no longer hear? He wasn't responsible for the call on Samuel, but what he was responsible was the training him up. Why? Because he laid in the temple. All these people that think it's cool, I can stay home, I can do what I want to do, I can show up when I feel like showing up. The Bible says that Samuel was in the temple. He was in the temple. He was living at the temple. He was staying at the temple. He lived there. So all the people that say, it don't take all of that, I don't have to go to church. Those are the people that's just fine with hearing. But the people that God is really pushing to go to another place, they're listening, because they're listening for instruction. They're listening for what to do. They're listening to what to now do next. Yeah, Sister Alicia, let's go. Because now we're about to go someplace, and I can't go to where God is now calling me forth to be, or what he's calling me forth to do, if I'm only surface hearers. I'm only surface hearers. You ever got instructions on how to do something and you didn't hear all of the instructions? You know why? Because you wasn't fully listening. You knew enough to get started, but you didn't know enough to finish. Oh, because if you was really listening, you would have been able to hear what it took for you to not only to be able to hear it, but to be able to apply it and to be able to now bring it into fruition. So many of us now, we just heard enough. But God said, now I'm looking for the listeners. Where the listeners at? Where the listeners at? If I got some listeners that's on the live with me, just holler in the comments for me. Just holler, whoop whoop. Say something to me to let me know that I'm on the cusp, about to go to a whole different realm. I'm about to go somewhere that God is now calling me forth to be. Why? Because I've been listening, listening, listening. Listen, this is Quick Word Tuesday. I pray that it has been a blessing to you. I pray that it ignited something on the inside of you. Whoop, whoop. I hear you. Whoop, whoop. I hear you. I'm telling you, we're climbing in deeper. I want to go in hard and heavy on tonight because I believe that God is now pushing us someplace. But I need for everybody that's really listening, because I know that there's an oil that's on my life that got to be released. I wanna help. I want to help release that oil so that you're able to move into the next place. Have an awesome and wonderful day. And to God be all of the glory. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. Oh, we're at 117 Darlington Avenue. I'm telling you, God is up to something amazing. I love the way God is moving and operating in our lives round about now. It feels good to be in position. Whoop, 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 whoop. I hear you. I hear you. I love to hear the sound of some people that are now moving. Let's go. Let's go. We're about to move into our next place. Join us tonight as we continue to go forth. I'll see you tonight. Bring somebody with you. Don't show up by yourself. Listen, be my guest on tonight. I see Sister Barbara Cooler, be my guest on tonight. I see Sister Keisha Thompson, be my guest on tonight. I'm telling you, we're igniting some fires and I'm ready for us to go forth. I love you guys. Have an awesome and wonderful day.